Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining us today for another episode of CBT Now, right here at cbtnews.com. If you're looking for one easy way to sell more cars and make more money today, you're in the right place. Joining us with his recommendations is Sean Gardner. You've seen him here before on CBT News. He's an instructor and sales trainer at the Joe Verde Group. So Sean, thank you so much for joining us once again on the show. Our viewers get so much out of your presentation here each month, so we very much appreciate it. We get a lot of great emails, and I get some text messages from my friends going, get that guy on more. He's got some good content. So let's get right into it. What's the one simple strategy to implement right now to start seeing more results?
Well, Jim, we're going to take a step back, and then we're going to get into that. But yeah, if you're watching this is going to be a huge interview because we're going to talk about the single easiest thing that you could do right now to sell more cars right now and make more money right now. Okay?
Let's do it.
I'm pumped. But look, we just got done with a huge, and I'm talking huge, even for Joe Verde standards workshop. We did 3 one-day workshops for this phenomenal dealer group, and it was 400 people over 3 days.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, that's salespeople and managers. And look, we're going to take a step back here because that was a powerful workshop. Jim, I mean, yeah, we talked about the Joe Verde selling process, and we talk about that all the time, bringing the customer through a series of steps that can help them build the momentum to increase their chances of delivering a vehicle now. I mean, that Joe Verde selling process is where the rubber meets the road.
Right.
We also talked about how to handle price. And Jim, prices on cars, I mean, I get it. There's rebates now. There's special rates. There's special leases. But you know what? Prices on cars are going up. And we spent extensive time how to handle price on the lot, how to handle price when you close, how to handle price in the negotiations. Because, these salespeople are telling me, you present the numbers to a customer, and the first thing out of their mouth is that price is too high, know?
Oh, yeah.
So we got to learn how to handle that. And we also talked about closing. Closing, that's another vital area. Closing, that's getting that customer in the excited, I want to buy now mindset. A lot of us, the only thing we use to close is if I could, would you, or offer to drop the price or offer to make the payments lower. And it's time to change our thinking on closing. And also, Jim, objections. We covered all afternoon, each day of the 3 days we talked about objections because, and this is important, if you're watching this, the only reason why a customer leaves is because of an objection.
Yep.
You could do a great job with the customer, right, Jim? And they're still going to say, well, let us think it over. Are you going to be here tomorrow? They say stuff, or, that price is too high, or you have the wrong car, or we promised another salesperson, we're going to look at one more truck. Just these objections.
These are all real, too. This is what you hear.
Yes. I mean, real life objections. And you know what? Salespeople, they're missing a lot of sales they could be getting because they don't know how to work through the objection. They get dead in the water. That's what we call it, DIW, and they end up giving that customer their we call it dismissal slip, their business card, okay?
Yeah.
And the salesperson's talking to the manager, what happened to that guy? Salesperson goes, I really feel that guy's coming back. He's a good guy. I think we're going to see him on Saturday. He didn't have all the decision makers. But in real life, Jim, that customer's leaving the store and going to your direct competition,
That's right. That's right.
And then, and we also talk about, and this is so important in today's world too, how to set up that perfect win-win negotiations, right? Mm-hmm. How to make the customer win and also how we can win. Because if you're watching this, and this was huge there at this dealer group, there's just too many minimum deals.
Right.
I mean, these salespeople, they're tired of selling a $60,000 truck and making $100.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, they're just trying to go for the unit bonus. So we have to, and we want that unit bonus, okay? But I want some meat on the bones. I hate to call it that, but that's what it is meat on the bones. So we got to set up that perfect win-win negotiation. But here's the thing. Every subject I just mentioned is what the Joe Verde Group is all about, okay? And they kept talking about this in the workshop. We need to be a student of our business and learn all we can. Joe even says, the equivalence of an associate's degree If you apply that degree in selling, if you have an associate's degree in selling, it gives you the capacity to become that millionaire everybody wants to be. I mean, if you're watching this, ask yourself this, okay? Do you want to do 20 plus each and every month? Okay. And do you want to make your 15 grand or more each month? And if the answer is yes, well, guess what? Man, we got to become the student of our business and learn more about each one of those subjects.
That's right.
But Jim, this is not about that. Okay. What we wanted to talk about, and you started off with this, is that single easiest thing that we could do, anybody watching this can do, that can help them sell more cars, make more money immediately. You know what that is, Jim?
What is that?
It's get out of the huddle and go to work with a plan in your hand. Right?
It's that simple.
It's that. I'm going to tell you a story here in a minute, but you know, some people watching this, because you've been to a Joe Verde class, may not even know what a huddle is.
I know.
You know, huddle. When I was in Texas selling cars, they called it a covey. You know, I mean, they're just different, or breakfast club.
Right.
Look, we're talking about 2 or more salespeople gathered together, talking about nothing that's going to lead to a sale, not doing any specific activity that's going to lead to a sale.
That's right.
Okay.
Only
sold cars.
It's only a negative scenario at best. We used to call it the meeting after the meeting. Right.
Yeah, there you go. The meeting after the meeting about the meeting with the other salespeople.
There you go.
Yeah. Always negative, like you said.
Always negative.
Yeah. You know, you sold cars. Have you ever sold a repeat or a referral customer while standing in the huddle?
Never.
Have you ever closed a service customer or an orphan owner while standing in the huddle?
Never.
Have you ever closed a deal, period, or made any money while standing in the huddle?
Never.
Exactly. Man, it's time to get out of the huddle, right?
That's right.
And come to work with a plan.
That's right.
This is a huge story. Okay, the COO of this company got up there a few times throughout these one-day workshops, and he said, you know, when I first started selling cars, and he was selling cars at this dealer group, started selling cars, he went from salesperson to COO. But look, he said, when I was selling cars, I was spending too much time in the huddle. You know, just talking to other salespeople, doing things that weren't leading to a sale. He said, you know what that led to? Not getting the results, not making the money I needed to make to provide for my family. You know what that led to? Excuses.
That's right.
If the weather, the economy, the market, we don't have the right inventory.
Right.
F&I can't get a deal approved. The used car manager can't put enough in the trade. When you're not getting the results you want, you tend to come up with excuses.
That's right. And everyone in the huddle sells their excuses to the other one to make the first guy feel better, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And this is the COO. Check this out. He was even contemplating quitting the car business because he just couldn't make the money he wanted to make. He was getting with his wife nightly. I don't know what to do.
Of course.
But you know what?
I've been there.
You know what his wife said? You want to know what his wife said? His wife said, I believe in you. Yeah. I believe in you. So he went back with a renewed attitude, and he got out of the huddle. He even told those guys, you know what? I love you, but I got to make some money. I got to sell some cars. Okay. Right. And he came to work, and check this out. Over the next 70 days, he sold at least 1 car per day for 70 straight days.
That's right. And you know, Sean, you know who's never in the huddle? The top guy or the top woman on the sales board. They're never in the huddle. You know, it's always that middle of the pack or lower at the pack, and the top producers want to keep you there because it makes their job that much easier. You know, they might stop by every now and then to just check to make sure that the huddle is still negative. But the people that are selling cars consistently on an ongoing basis at a dealership are not in the huddle.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that sell a car or two every day.
Yeah. He was telling me when he went to work with a plan in his hand, and he was learning how to get all 9 hours of a 9-hour day, he would make so many outgoing calls. He knew how many calls he needed to make to set so many appointments, which would equal so many shows and sales.
That's right.
He said in the beginning of the month, he could say, I'm going to sell 30 cars this month, and here's exactly how I'm going to do it.
Right.
So he had a plan, and then he worked his plan. But you know what the moral of this story is, Jim?
What's that?
Why can't that be you as a salesperson watching this?
That's right.
Why can't after this you get out of the huddle? Tell those guys I love you. And you know what? And hopefully you're going to be at my house on Sunday when we're closed, if you're closed on Sunday, and maybe we could, have a get together, maybe watch an MMA fighter or something like that. But while I'm at work, I got to go to work. Okay.
Right.
I'm here to make friends, but I'm here to make friends with customers. And I got to have a plan in my hand,
That's
to get the most out of every day. So,
That's right.
So here's the thing, okay? The thing is let us help you, sharpen your skills at closing, working through buying objections, setting up that perfect win-win negotiations. But Jim, and you're like this too, I see it in you, okay? Don't let anybody in the car business take your work ethic away from you. You have to have a strong work ethic.
That's right.
That is the foundation of success in the car business.
No question about it. And nobody, not even your sales manager, is going to be commissioned to make sure you have a good work ethic. Yeah, they might check on you now and then. They might say, hey, you should do this or do more of that. But a sales manager that's got 10, 20, 30 salespeople under them, they don't have the time for it. So you're exactly right. You need to be a champion of your own destiny, your own future, and really say, I got to be my own personal coach, because no one else is coming for you, right? Yeah. They might come for you to say you're fired because you only sold 6 cars last month. They'll come and tell you that, but they're not going to be your personal coach. Yeah.
You know what? They're not your personal coach, or some of them are better personal coaches than others. But still, I am my best manager as a salesperson. I'm my sales manager. You know what? They may not be doing a great job of coaching, but they're watching.
That's right.
They are watching.
Yeah.
And they're thinking that guy with the strong work ethic that does intelligent activities throughout the selling day that can lead to sales. That's what they mean when they say we promote from within.
That's right.
Is that right, Jim?
Yes, 100%.
That's what they're looking for. Not the guy standing in the huddle talking about how slow it is or how prices on these trucks are just too much. So, man, don't look. You develop that strong work ethic.
Right.
You don't let anybody take that away from you. And you're going to hit some goals in your career in the car business that you can't even imagine right now.
Well, and that's why that friend of yours, the general manager, the president of the company, started selling cars and rose to the ranks of CEO.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
That's what it was all about.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And as you know, there's nothing positive that's being said in those huddles. It's only negative talk. It really is.
Yes.
So even when you break away to take that fresh up, you're going to that fresh up with a negative mindset of all of the problems that you just heard from those individuals in the huddle about why that store can't put a deal together, whether it be the trade allowances, whether it be the inventory, the marketing, the F&I department, and so on and so on. And by the time you make it out to greet that fresh customer, that fresh up, you just want to say, look, just go home. I'm not in the right mindset, right?
Yeah. You know what? I'll end this with this. I was only 19 years old when I started the car business, and I would spend so much time in that huddle or sitting down at this desk we had in the front of the dealership that when a customer did pull up, I was so mentally out of the game that I was hoping the customer wouldn't even get out of their trade, and they would just drive through slowly and then leave. And then I could look at my manager and say, these customers, and then I would blame it on getting a lot of bad ups, getting a lot of bad traffic. Come on now. Drop the excuses. Strong work ethic will prevail in any market.
That's right. Sean Gardner, that's why you are the instructor and one of the best sales trainers in the country working for the Joe Verde Group. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you stopping by. And I hope everybody takes what you say to heart, because you're spot on today with today's message. So thank you.
Absolutely, Jim. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks.